It's about, again, back to system planning. It's not focusing on the electrical grid, but the overall energy system. I structured the presentation as follows. I will just give a few hints about renewables. Then I will focus on supplying a base load with means of renewables, and then give short excourse on really extreme renewable energy system for South Africa. I want to show only a few aspects of renewables in South Africa. It's about costs, you see there. You see the cost of wind and solar for the actual bidding window. It's at 0.621 per kilowatt hour. It's quite cheap. And you see on the other hand, well, base load coal power plants also from the bids, and traditional costs for other fossil fuels and nuclear. You see the cheapest energy generation options are the fluctuating renewable energy sources for South Africa.
Apparently they are recording
that. Coming to the second aspect is also about cost, is the question how much space is available in South Africa for supplying such low cost renewable energy. This slide has already shown by Tobias yesterday. You see it's a tremendous share of the land mass which can be used for wind installation. Is about half of the land mass of South Africa with excellent resources, some thousands of gigawatts, which may be installed in South Africa, but it's no need for doing that. So regarding costs and space, there's no problem for system planning, for renewable system planning in South Africa. Coming also to an animation which has been showed yesterday, just to focus on one point. You see on the right hand side the gray lines, which are single wind turbines. You see on the left hand side the average for a well spreaded wind installation in South Africa. Every dot indicates one installation. You see the fluctuations down there, single plants with a high fluctuation, and the smoothing effect in the whole system on the left hand side. That means, regarding spatial planning, it can be spread it around the country. It's very important not to install every installation at a single point or a single region, spread it over the country. Then there is no problem with gradients in the grid on a system level. It may be different for single substations or something like that, but on a system level we do not have a problem. This is the starting point for the next slides. I will focus on a base load scenario first. The base for this analysis is the South African wind and solar aggregation study, which has been carried out by CSR, IR and Fraunhofer with support from ESCOM and Sanedi. So we build up a good knowledge base, a good database for doing scenarios, for doing simulations. This database contains time series for wind and PV and a 15 minutes resolutions. The assumption we draw for the following analysis was that we use the smoothing effects throughout the country, so we distribute the installation quite good over the country. What we did was a very simple, straightforward approach, not doing some advanced optimizations which may improve the results and give lower cost for the renewables, but we want to have a really straightforward approach which can be easily understood. So what's about baseload? We have a baseload of 8 gigawatt in South Africa, which leads to 70 terawatt hour energy consumption over the year just for base load, not for the total load, just base load. It's about 30% of today's South African energy demand. The question was, well, how can wind and solar supply this base load? And we know that we will need some other flexibility options to really generate a constant base load. Well, economically, it's the question, what will it cost doing so? Assumptions for that we say, well, we need about 90 gigawatt at wind installations, 7 gigawatt PV installations, and well, we know there will be some times where we have no wind and no solar available, so we need flexible generation capacity filling this gap. We assume that we have the actual prices of the window 4 for wind and solar, which is in fact pessimistic because we will see further price drops for the fluctuation technology, and we assume that we have a very expensive flexible generation. It may be gas, it may be something other, filling the gaps. Well, how does it look like? We have the base load, it's constant over the year, and then we have the feed-in by means of PV and the means of wind. We have some lags in this supply, which have to be covered by flexible power, and also we have some surplus, which may be curtailed, especially if we talk about base load. This is not base load anymore. So for this study, we assume that we curtail it just, and so it has no value for the energy system. Yeah, we did this for the whole year, and I just want to show you some example days. This is the day with the lowest wind generation. You see we have plenty of, well, we have lack of energy, which has to be covered by the flexible power. We have the good average, the day with the lowest solar. Here, the day with the highest wind penetration. So you see we have a lot of excess energy there, which has to be wasted, which has to be curtailed. There we have the week with the lowest cumulated coverage of with renewables. That means this is a week where we need the most flexible power. Well, so that was about the energy, how the base load supply may look like by means of fluctuating renewable energies and a flexible generator. But the second question was how the ramps will look like. Is it possible to supply the steep ramps of fluctuating renewable energies by means of fossil-fueled generators such as gas-fired power plants or something like that? So we analyzed the ramp rates. So we found the maximum ramp rate over this 4 years of generation was about 1.2 gigawatt within. Compare this with the capabilities of the open cycle gas turbine, for example, or pump hydro or other fast technology. We see, well, we can have changes per minute of 5 to 10% of the nominal power. Pump hydro is even faster. It can be made available within seconds. And well, if we think about curtailment of wind and PV, it's also really, it can be made instantaneously. So also regarding the ramp rates, we say, well, it's technically possible to supply this with gas turbines or even faster with pump hydro or storage technology in future. So it's technically feasible to supply the base load by a mix of fluctuating renewable energy sources and a flexible power generator. Inside there are LNG landing terminals planned, which has at minimum 4 to 6 weeks storage implemented really on site at the landing terminal.